Have you got an '08 PT Cruiser that you can't get the gate open on? The button won't mash no matter how much you mess with it. It just won't pop. Some of the older ones had the key, but this model here, like an '08, it don't. It's just got the button. Well, if yours ain't working, Drake's fixing to show you a quick, cheap, easy way to change it out. Make it work. Stay tuned.
All right. You got a PT Cruiser. I reckon they got a common problem with the buttons going bad that unlocks the hatch. All it is a little contact pad and strip, and it just gets corrosion and nastiness in between it. It quits making contact. You can take a flat piece of metal, if you could tear the outer layer off and get in there and it makes contact, it'll release it, which is what we done to get the hatch released on this PT Cruiser. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to try to take a button out of a door handle. It's an actual button, not just a contact strips. You can see where the contact strips went through and then into the pigtail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to wire, I'm going to make this button fit this PT Cruiser handle, and then I'm going to wire that into my pigtail and try to make it to where it'll open. Very simple, because my neighbor, I don't know if you can see across the road, we've worked on her PT Cruiser several times. Well, right there's the front of her. She burnt the motor up in that one. But it had a keyhole to put a key in it to unlock it still. The pad was bad, but it had a keyhole. This new silver one she bought does not have a keyhole. So that's why I'm going through this trouble. But I want to make it easy for her to open her gate. Like I said, I could take a piece of metal, stick up in there, and make them, all you gotta do is connect them to strips right there. Well, let me get my camera adjusted. If you make them two strips touch, it pops open, just like a button. So, I'm gonna try to make this fit. So if you have this problem with a PT Cruiser, need to get in your rear hatch, and you want a solution, here it is. Go to your junkyard, buy an old door handle. This happens to be off a Nissan Altima or Maxima with a button. Any late model car with a button in it will work. I'm thinking. We're gonna find out. But I'm gonna show you a process here, and maybe it'll help you out. Alright, I've laid the button where I want it, and then I traced around it with a paint marker. I'm gonna take and grind that in so I could, what do you say, flush mount it, so it ain't so, just see, without, man, it's hard to do with two hands, but without sinking it in like I want. See how thick that button is? So I want to file some of it down so that the button will sink in and won't be protruding out so far. First, I'm going to try this burr bit on a drill and see how it does. Alright, well, there's a focus there. There we have it. The button fits in a lot better, as you can tell. Well, as you can tell, I dug that out so that that button would sink down in the hole there. I'm going to take some 2-part epoxy now and epoxy that button in there. Alright, I got my button epoxied in. So now we're going to put the wires through this piece like so, and put it back together like that, and then I will solder that pigtail onto this wire. If the wire would have had the same metal ends that slide into the plastic plug, I would have just depinned the plastic plug and pushed the wires into this plastic plug. But they're two different connector style ends inside there, so I'm just going to solder these two wires together. Alrighty. Putting heat shrink on it. It's I believe what they consider marine grade. It's got the little glue on the inside of it. I believe they refer to that as marine grade, but anyhow, that's the black tubing that I'm heating up, is heat shrink. All right, there we have the pigtail. Now, let's walk it over here to the car. I'll have to rewind a little bit to kind of show you what you have to do to get this piece out. But you got this plastic cover on the inside and them three pieces right there. The big piece goes on first, the side pieces second, and this piece last. So therefore you have to take this off to get this off. This car, the only clip it had in it was a plastic push-in clip right here. It all just pulls and snaps out and snaps back in with them little retainers. And then you have three nuts, 8mm, 1, 2, 3, and it's double-sided tape. that holds that on. We're gonna test fit this here and see if it wants to work. Studs back up. Alright. Plug that up. Alright. Now, let's see if it actuates. Hear it? So, there it is. Alrighty. Let's see here. Tuck in wires back in there. Let's grab our 8s. I'm sorry, it's hard to hold this hatch. Put the nuts on and video it. I don't know how professional YouTubers do it. That's why I work on cars. I don't work with cameras and computers. Of course, this late model junk is turning into it's just one big computer. That's all it is. Alright. Let's see if it latches. Alright. As you can tell there, it's latched, unlatched. Latched, unlatched. Latched. There you have it. You need a cheap, inefficient, I cannot get that word. Inexpensive way to fix your Chrysler PT Cruiser rear hatch. There you have it. Like I said, a button out of an unlock button off a door handle of any late model car. They all got that little flat piece. It's a real flat button with 2 wires. That's all you need. As you can see, there's my button mounted on the inside of it. So that'll make it a lot easier for her to get in and out of this car. She cleans houses for a living, so she needs to get in and out of the rear hatch of her PT Cruiser. Well, let me kind of show you here. See if I can get it snapped back together. See if I can set the camera up somewhere to kind of video it. One push clip I was talking about. takes. It snaps apart just as easy as it snaps together.
Okay, here it is. Check it out. Pop. Real nice and smooth. Pop. Works way a lot better than the little factory contact deal. So if you got that problem, this is how you fix it. 256 Garage out.